Today, we're focusing on something that is just incredibly empowering, naturally stopping midlife weight gain after the age of 45. Listen, if you are exhausted by that endless cycle of restrictive, starvation diets that just don't seem to work for you anymore, you are in the exact right place. We're going to completely rethink how we approach our health and really embrace a vitality, energy, and strength. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You're eating the exact same way you did in your 30s, you're doing your daily walks, maybe you're even skipping dessert, but the scale just keeps creeping up, right? And what's even more frustrating is all that new weight seems to be shifting directly to your midsection. Well, take a deep breath because I really need you to hear this loud and clear. You are not crazy. And this is absolutely not a failure of willpower. The game has simply changed, and those old rules, they just don't apply anymore. Okay, let's dive into this. When we cross into our mid-40s and beyond, our bodies undergo this profound biological shift. Our hormones fluctuate, and our metabolic engine actually changes its primary fuel source. So the rule book that kept you lean in your 30s just stops working. But I want you to remember this one thing. Your metabolism isn't broken. Not at all. It's just adapted to your age. So we're simply going to adopt a new operating manual, new rules for a new, incredibly resilient phase of your life. I want you to picture building a roaring fire from the ground up. You add strong, solid logs to keep those flames burning hot all day long, right? Well, that is exactly what we need to do with your body's energy system right now. But to do that, we have to talk about sarcopenia. This is just the scientific term for the natural decline and loss of muscle mass that starts in our 40s. And here is the hard truth. Midlife weight gain is rarely just about gaining fat. It is almost always driven by losing muscle. Muscle is your metabolic furnace. Did you know a pound of muscle burns up to 3 times as many calories as a pound of fat? So if you lose just 5 pounds of muscle during this decade, your daily calorie burn drops drastically, even if your diet hasn't changed a bit. And those unburned calories, they have nowhere to go but straight to your waistline. So the absolutely crucial point here is how we respond to that muscle loss. The old diet culture rules told us to just starve ourselves and do hours of excessive, exhausting cardio. But actually, excessive cardio without strength training in midlife can accelerate muscle loss. We have to actively push back against that toxic idea. The empowering new rule is to become a muscle protector. Just twice a week, grab some resistance bands, some light dumbbells, or honestly, just use your own body weight for squats and wall push-ups. You are rebuilding that furnace so you can burn more calories even while you're fast asleep. Now that we're actively rebuilding that metabolic furnace, we need to supply it with the absolute best raw materials to keep it roaring. And this brings us to a really fascinating biological concept called anabolic resistance. Basically, in your 40s and 50s, your body actually becomes a bit stubborn, resistant to building muscle compared to when you were in your 20s. What this means is your 45-plus body requires significantly more protein just to trigger the signal for muscle maintenance. The nutritional habits of our youth simply don't provide the raw materials we need today. Think about how we usually eat. The typical midlife diet is totally backwards. We do a carb-heavy breakfast like oatmeal or toast, a tiny little salad for lunch, and then a massive protein dump at dinner. But your body can only utilize about 25 to 30 grams of protein for muscle synthesis at one time. The rest is just wasted. So the new rule is to pace your protein. You want to aim for 25 to 30 grams evenly across all 3 meals. Try swapping that morning toast for 3 scrambled eggs and some Greek yogurt. Doing this deeply nourishes your muscles, it stabilizes your blood sugar, and it will completely eliminate those intense 3 p.m. sugar cravings. Think of this one like stacking little energy blocks one by one to fill up a massive battery. This is the absolute secret to burning hundreds of unburned calories every single day without ever stepping foot inside a formal gym. NEAT stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. As we hit midlife, we often sit a lot longer for our careers, maybe our joints feel a bit stiffer, and our daily NEAT just drops off a cliff. To combat this, you need to inject what we call micro movements into your day. Fidgeting, pacing while you're on a phone call, standing up from your desk, taking a 5-minute walking break every hour, or even just doing calf raises while you brush your teeth. These tiny actions add up to a massive metabolic boost over the week, keeping your battery fully charged without stressing your joints. As our fluctuating hormones change where we store fat, the midlife body actually pushes it deep into the abdomen instead of storing it on the hips and thighs. This is called visceral fat, and guys, it is highly inflammatory. It wraps around your organs and it is metabolically dangerous. And what eagerly drives visceral fat? Insulin spikes. When you eat refined carbohydrates, your blood sugar spikes, insulin floods your system, and your midlife body eagerly locks that energy right into your belly. So how exactly do we build a biological shield against this? We use soluble fiber. When you eat foods like chia seeds, Brussels sprouts, or black beans, that soluble fiber actually mixes with water in your gut to form a thick gel. This gel physically slows down the absorption of sugar into your bloodstream. By doing this, you blunt that insulin spike, you keep your blood sugar perfectly steady, and you literally stop sending your body the hormonal signal to store belly fat. It's a built-in biological shield. We simply cannot talk about metabolism without diving into the hidden killers of our 40s and 50s, changing sleep architecture and chronic daily stress. When you are chronically stressed or sleep deprived, waking up at 3 a.m. with a racing mind, your body floods with cortisol, the stress hormone. And cortisol delivers a devastating 1-2 punch. First, it breaks down your hard-earned muscle tissue for quick energy, and then it specifically directs your body to lock fat directly into the abdominal area. This proves that you can eat perfectly and exercise daily, but if you are chronically stressed, your waistline is still going to struggle. To fix this, sleep hygiene has to become a metabolic necessity, not just a luxury. And it starts with this magic number, 6-5. Keeping your bedroom cool at exactly 65 degrees Fahrenheit is actually one of the most effective ways to signal to your brain that it is time to drop into deep, restorative sleep. Here is a super simple timeline to protect that sleep. 1 hour before bed, initiate a digital sunset. Just turn off the screens to lower your blue light exposure. Then, 5 minutes before bed, engage in deep belly breathing. This manually lowers your cortisol levels, actively pulling your body out of fight or flight mode. By mastering this nightly routine, you are protecting your sleep. And by extension, you are actively protecting your waistline. As we wrap up today, I really want you to internalize this truth. Your body is incredibly resilient. It is listening to every single signal you send it. So it's time to stop sending it the signals of your 20s. Stop starving it and start nourishing it. Give it the strategic support, the protein, the muscle stimulation, and the rest it so desperately needs right now. You have the absolute power to feel vibrant, strong, and energized in your own skin. I am so confident you can do this. I want to leave you with a provocative question to reflect on as you start implementing this new rulebook. What has been the most frustrating metabolic change for you since turning 45? Has it been those sudden afternoon energy crashes or the stubborn belly fat that just won't budge? Really think about it, because identifying the specific challenge is your very first step in reversing it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Keep feeding those muscles, protect your sleep, and keep living your most vital life.
Thank you for your time. Subscribe for more health education. Like the video and share it to help others stay informed.